All right, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is CharlesEllroy, and tonight we are going to have a great series for you. It's Abyssal Sapphire versus Hawkthorn eSports. We're going to be doing the pro draft first, and then we'll get into the client draft. So stay tuned, and everything will be pulled up here in just a moment. All right, and the first bans are coming through now. We're going to have a Nasus ban. Nasus is a very strong late game champ. His Qs will just bot people for most of their health, and so they're not going to want any of that. Shyvana going to be taken out. And Nivea. Nivea was in some of the games I cast last night, and she is very strong. Kaisa, quick bans coming from the side of Abyssal. They know exactly what they're trying to execute as far as the draft goes. Kaisa super strong right now. And Syndra, that's going to round out the bans for the first half on the side of Hawkthorn eSports. The final ban going to come from Abyssal. And it's going to be a Lucian. He's been played a lot mid lately, so that's a nice ban. He is very good at abusing some of those melee champions in the mid lane, so we'll see him taken out of the ranks. We'll see what the B1 pick is going to be, and they're going to go with Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao is awesome right now, very strong. His WE combo allows him to get in there, burst a lot of damage, and he is a great counter for a lot of junglers. The R1 going over to Thresh. And it looks like it's going to be a Thresh Senna bot lane. Interesting. We'll have to see what they do to play with the Senna. If the I haven't gotten Nivea in the whole league, so we're going to have to see what they do with Senna. If it's going to be a feast or famine Senna. I would assume it is going to be a feast Senna since they have a Thresh there, but you never know how things go. Senna's very great at scaling with her souls, and she can do a lot of damage late game, so we'll have to see what runes they take on her. We're going to have the Aphelios hovered over here on the side of Hawkthorn. And it looks like they might be pairing that with a Karma. Now, Karma can go solo lanes. I've seen her put a lot mid-top here recently. She has a lot of in-lane poke as well as her ability to help with the team fight. But I would assume that is going to be the support side there. And then it looks like we've got a Zac joining the fight. Zac is a great jungler. He's able to be very mobile. He's able to influence games a lot. He can certainly get over walls for Dragon, for Baron, and try and get a steal in there. So we'll have to see how they play this out. Looks like Sylas is going to be banned. Sylas super strong right now. Everfrost landing the Abductive Scon and then hitting the Kingmaker will just melt somebody down. So you don't want to go into trading against a Sylas. So I love to see he's taken out of this. We're going to have a Victor hovered as a ban. And it looks like they will be locking it in with the Victor. He is going to be taken out of here. And there's the Wukong very quick. I'm excited to see what the top and mid lane picks are going to be. I like what the bot lane looks like right now. Rise. Okay. I like the Senna. I like the Aphelios. I think the Karma Aphelios have a little bit better synergy, personally, in my opinion. But I think if you get a good Thresh hook with the W, you can certainly lock somebody down with a lot more CC. We'll just have to see how it's played out. But I like what I'm seeing here so far. We're going to go to the R4 pick for the side of Abyssal, and they're going to lock in Shen. Great global ult, great presence on the map, can turn a 2v2 into a 3v2 very quickly, and I love the Shen pick, so I think that's going to be great. We'll have to see what Hawkthorn answers with. Hawkthorn's looking like they're going to hover the Mordekiser right now. I have seen him flex both mid and top. A great melee champ. As soon as he procs his passive, he starts melting through the enemy. So that could make it very dangerous for Shen. But we will see the Mord locked in there. And the last pick coming from Hawkthorn right now. It's going to be either a top or a mid, I assume. Taking it down to the wire while they think about it. And an Oriana. So we're going to see Ori go to the mid. Mordekiser red to the top lane. I like the Mord into the Shen fight. Mord has a passive that'll melt through people, but Shen does a lot of percent health damage, and so I'm excited to see who wins that fight. That could be very influential. Shen's ult is going to be utilized in helping swing skirmishes. Mordekaiser's ult going to be utilized to throw a team fight in their favor by taking out an ADC or a tank or something like that. So I like the top lane picks. And we're going to see a Veigar. I love these picks so far. If you're watching the game, let me know who you think won the draft. We've got the side of Hawkthorn going with Zhoa, Aphelios, Karma, Mordekiser, and Oriana, and the side of Abyssal Sapphire going with Thresh, Senna, Zac, Shen, and Veigar. I like what I'm seeing here. The jungle matchup is pretty solid. I'm going to give a little tilt over to Zhoa, as I do believe that he has the chance to do a lot of early game damage, but as Zac becomes tankier, he'll be able to go in and soak up a lot of damage. Along with the Shen, they basically have two tanks there, Hawkthorn only having the one, and the Bruiser and the side of Mordekiser. So I think the front-to-back team fight of Abyssal looks pretty strong. Senna, if she goes a feast Senna and doesn't go, doesn't let the Thresh CS, we could see her fall a little bit behind in terms of souls, so she might not scale as quickly, but I definitely think there's a lot of all-in combo with the Thresh Senna combo from the hook, the flail, the flay, along with the W combo and everything else. And so they will get into the client draft here just a moment. And as they get into the client draft, okay, we'll let them have their moment while they do that. We'll continue talking about everything. The Veigar versus the Oriana. I like the matchup. I don't love where the Oriana is going to be because I feel like she has the distance with her ball, her ability to get up in there and do some damage to him. But the one problem I see with that is the cage is going to be huge in the team fights. Her ult will obviously also be huge, but we have a lot of potential from that Veigar to lock somebody up, stun them. And so we'll just have to see how they play that out. I think the Oriana is going to be very big in the team fights, but in lane she might suffer against that Veigar. Somebody asking about what casting a game is. I'll hit him with it real quickly. There we go. Boom. All right, so like I said, the Mordekiser into the Shen. I favor the Mordekiser a little bit. What's a casting game? Some people don't know. You got to get them in on it. Maybe you'll join in and say hello. Either way, I like the Mordekiser into the Shen. I think the Shen's very strong, though, for overall team fight presence. Like I said, very easy to turn a gank over to the side of Abyssal if he ults in. I like the Zhoa into the Zac, but I think Zac late game is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Mid lane, the Oriana, I think she'll have a little trouble having, lane phase, but I think as we get into the team fights and we start to see the laning phase in and get into the mid and late game, that she'll have a lot more presence and an easier time going against some of the other people on the side of Abyssal. And then in the bot lane, I feel like Aphelios and Karma have that side wrapped up, unless that Thresh W combo is able to come out. Aphelios is very strong. Karma able to do a lot of poke, able to do a lot of shielding throughout the team fight. Her powered boosts and everything else can just have a lot of presence. So we'll have to see what they do. And it looks like they're going to be getting into the draft here in just a moment. But either way, I like the team setups that we have for these teams. I like the way the team fights are going to go. I'm excited to see how everything turns out. So do me a favor, stay tuned here. If you haven't done it yet, hit the follow button for me so you can see more of this. I cast almost every night, and we'll get into the games in just a moment.
I smell fear. Fine. Who questions my ability?
All right, and as the final picks come in for the client draft, we're going to see Mordekiser into Shen, Zhao into Zac, Veigar into Oriana, Aphelios, and Karma into Senna and Thresh. If you're watching, let me know who you think won the draft. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think it's going to be the side of Abyssal Sapphire, the red side with the Shen, Zac, Veigar, Senna, and Thresh? Or do you think it's going to be the side of Hawkthorn eSports with Mordekiser, Zhao, Oriana, Aphelios, and Karma? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the chat. In the meantime, though, we are going to have a small delay as we will wait 3 to 4 minutes for the game to start for integrity purposes while everybody gets loaded in, and there's a small delay, so if they're watching, they don't get to see what's going on. But other than that, stay tuned for a banger of a series between Abyssal Sapphire and Hawkthorn Esports. All right, and we're going to be getting into the game here shortly as the teams are loading up onto the Rift. We'll take a look at the summoner spells they used and the runes so that we can see what these teams plan on doing with their champions. The side of blue is going to be Hawkthorn, the side of red is going to be Abyssal, and we're going to get this game started right now. All right, we're going to see the phase rush on Oriana, common on Veigar. We've got teleport across the solo laners, heal on both of our ADCs, exhaust for the side of Karma, and ignite for the side of Thresh. Nothing too crazy. Karma did go Comet, not Airy there. Besides that, though, everything else looks pretty standard across the map. So we're going to go ahead and load in and see how this game turns out. And that mid lane is going to be a battle of the masters, as it looks like. We'll get the scorecard up, turn the chats off so they have some privacy, and wait for everybody to get loaded up onto the Rift. And we'll see what items are coming through here. Yeah, that's going to be a Senna taking the not taking the sickle. She's going to go with the Doran's Blade, so she's going to be taking all the farm. Looks like Zach going with the Chilling Smite, Zhao going with the Challenging Smite. Everything else is looking pretty solid across the map. And we're going to see a relatively standard 5-point out across the map here. That first Drake that we're going to see is going to be a Cloud Drake coming up here at the 5-minute mark. Nothing too crazy besides that. Zhao a little late to the game, but better late than never. I'd love to see the Oriana throw a ball out there. That would have been a fun little start. And there's the Karma getting some early poke onto that Thresh, just saying hello. And both junglers are going to start on the bot side with a leash from their bot lane duos. Mordekiser are going to come to lane a little late, maybe a quote-unquote fake leash up on the top side. Zhao heading to Krugs too. I like that he's going to do a full bot side clear, it looks like. And we'll leave this up in case anything crazy happens. I'll pull it down for you so it's not in the way. But good poke coming out of that Karma. That empowered Q lands, and it does a lot of damage. You can see that Senna is not feeling great already. It has to keep her back a little bit, and she barely does any damage to them right now. So keep an eye out on that Karma to be poking the Senna off of lane. And here's a trade going on top side. Mordekiser taking a lot of damage, but the passive is packed now, and he trades it right back over to the Shen. Once this Mordekiser gets going, he is not going to be afraid of too many people in the map or on in the game on the map. Thankfully for the side of Abyssal, that Karma Q missed. And this Veigar taking some early trades from the ball. And every once in a while we'll have to do a little check-in on the Senna, see where her souls are at. But we have a lot of poke coming down on that Senna. She's got to find a way to try and sidestep those and get out of the way. Otherwise, she's not going to be able to catch much of this farm as they crash it in. And here's the trade going on in mid. They're both relatively equal throughout this. Oriana's up a little bit of CS, but nothing too crazy. And it looks like we're going to have the Zac and the Zenzal fighting over Scuttle. Oriana's got the first roam up, and that looks like Mordekaiser's coming down. So this could be the side of Abyssal Sapphire giving over first blood to Hawkthorn eSports. That's exactly what will happen. Oriana will lock up the kill on the Zac there, and that's going to be first blood going to the side of Hawkthorn eSports. And we see the Zenzal going topside. He's going to try and make a gank happen. He lands his W, hits a Z. The pull comes out of the Mordekiser. They're able to get quite a bit of damage. They won't blow any summoner spells, though. And that is going to be a nice little pressure play from the Zenzal to help this Mordekiser crash his wave in and maybe get it back here. Although the Mordekiser does find himself down about 5 CS. In the bot lane here, though, that was the Thresh W, that was the Thresh hook and the Senna W combo I was talking about. Senna trying to chase down this Aphelios. The Zac's going to hop in there, lock up the kill. Now you've got Oriana in the area. She's going to try and get the kill onto the Senna. Nothing will come of it. It's a 3v2. Senna trying to run for her life. They got vision, and the Oriana is able to hit her with the Q, lock up the kill, and that's going to be 2 kills over to Oriana as she helps lock up the kill on Senna. The way that fight started, by the way, it was a hook from the Thresh, a W from the Senna. They were both able to land it onto the Aphelios, blow him up. But by then, the Oriana was already roaming. The Karma was in the area, outputting some damage as the Senna tried to chase somebody down, and so they just got caught up there. But very good play. If they can manage to do that when there's not a solid roam going on, and here's the Oriana establishing her presence. She's coming back with an Amplifying Tomb Sork Boots. She is looking to get a kill on this Veigar. He has to flash to get away. There's the Mordekiser passive procced, doing a lot of damage to the Shen, keeping him off the wave. Even though he's down about 10 CS, he is still feeling the prio here. So, very well played. Hawkthorn doing a great job of establishing their early dominance and trying to get priority for it. The Oriana is up in CS, she is up in kills, and she is just going straight into the Veigar. The Veigar coming back with a Blasting Wand, though, so he's going to be feeling pretty big himself. We'll see who wins out, the Sork Boots or the Blasting Wand. I think the Sork Boots with the added mobility is going to help her dodge the cages and other skill shots, and so Oriana might still have the advantage here. Very well played from her. There's the cage, dodging the W, gets caught up a little bit, but now we've got Zenzal in the area, misses the W from him, and he's level 6, so he can also turn this around a little bit if they were to do something there. There comes the dash in from Shen. He's putting out some damage. The passive gets procced on the Mordekiser. And very good job of that Shen dancing in and out of the passive from the Mordekiser and not taking too much damage from it. That's what you have to do. Thank you for asking, DC Raider 138. No, I don't want to be famous. I just want to have a good time. So there's the Shen going in again. The pull comes through. He's going to trigger the passive. He's taking a lot of trade damage there, though. They're still managing to trade out relatively equally. I'd say the Shen's up a little bit there, but nothing too crazy. In the bot lane, all things relatively equal. A little bit more gold to the side of Abyssal Sapphire as Thresh is able to CS a little bit for them. But this Shen doing a very good job of staying up in CS, and neither one of the top laners is backed yet. They're both just sitting on their gold pile, waiting for the right time. There's the hook. It manages to thread the needle, lands onto the Karma. The W comes through as well. Now you've got the Shen going into the Death Realm, taking some damage. The passive is procced. He's getting melted down. Takes the auto, and that's going to be a kill going over to the side of Mordekiser in the Death Realm for the Shen. Shen will not be able to do anything about it, and so that's going to be one more kill going over to the side of Hawkthorn eSports. Hawkthorn now working on the Drake here. They're going to lock up the first Drake, and that's going to be a Cloud Drake. The next Drake we're going to see on the Rift is going to be an Infernal Drake, which means our soul will be Mountain or Cloud. We'll have to see how this all works out, but I love the way this game's going. About 1,000 gold lead to the side of Hawkthorn eSports right now. Nothing too crazy, but you are starting to feel it, especially on the Oriana and in the bot lane. So we'll have to see how these guys all work everything out. There's the Oriana getting caught out by the Veigar. She's going to have some damage coming down. The Jax is there. The R comes out. She's going to get away with just barely her life, but she does manage to get away. There was not a lot of follow-up there. Zach could have followed through maybe a little bit, but I don't know if his dash was up. He might have used that to go in, and it was still on cooldown. But either way, very good play from the Veigar and the Zach to manage to put some damage out on that Oriana, get her out of lane. The Veigar up about 20 CS now. And so the Veigar finds himself sitting on a Blasting One and the Lost Chapter. The Lost Chapter coming through for Oriana with her Sork boots. We've got some items finally coming through on the top side there as the Sunfire is completed for Shen. And the Blasting Wand along with a Negatron Cloak is going over to, or a Null Mantle is going over to the side of Shen. So it looks like he's going to be going into the... Oh wait, what do we have going on down here? We've got the poke coming out of Karma onto the Thresh. Nothing more will come of that though, but it certainly doesn't feel good if you get the Thresh to take that much damage. And look at the side of Abyssal Sapphire. They've got vision all throughout the river. They have a solid ward line on the top side, and even on the bot side, they've got some, they've got a ward up in that river bush. They are doing a good job of tracking where the Zhen Zhao is, knowing where he's at. And now this Mordekiser is starting to establish himself in lane. He's still down about 20 CS, but he is able to output a lot more damage onto the Shen. And we see that Zhen Zhao is hanging out in the area. Karma making a roam top side as well. They're going to burst down that vision, and they might be going over to the side of Rift Herald here. Some vision coming out from the Scryer's Bloom as the Zac procs it, but he's aware they're there, and they're going to go ahead and start on the Rift Herald with Karma up in the top lane. Meanwhile, the Aphelios getting some very good solo XP and solo gold here. Takes some damage from the Flay, takes some damage from the hook. The Unite comes down, they're flashing for it, and they're able to lock up the kill. That's going to be Senna getting the kill onto the Aphelios. That was a double flash and ignite coming out from the bot lane on the side of Abyssal Sapphire. I don't know that they needed to commit that hard to it, but they are able to lock up the kill and answer back a little bit, which is exactly what they need to do right now. Senna finds herself up 10 CS, up a kill, and so that's really where they want to find themselves. Here comes the Rift Herald. It's going to be dropped mid. Zach joins the fight. He lands onto the Oriana, and that's going to be Oriana falling to Zach. Now it's a 3v2, a 4v1. I'm sorry, that poor Zhen Zhao gets blown up as well. The Rift Herald is able to crush down some turrets there, crush down some plates, but that was a very good roam from the side of Thresh and an ult from the side of Shen to turn that skirmish into a team fight, basically, and get everything going on their way. They've now tied up the kills 4-4. They have a little bit more gold since they are CSing very well. Veigar going to teleport back to lane. Oriana matching. Karma clearing out some vision. We've got a good game going here so far. It's been back and forth. Hawkthorn locking down some early kills, but Abyssal Sapphire finding a way to answer back. And we've got a lot of priority going on around where the Infernal is. We'll have to see what comes of it. There's some damage down. The Veigar cage comes out. The Aphelios doing a good job of not getting caught up in it. The hook lands. The Veigar cage comes down. The Zac is able to lock up that Karma, and that's going to be a lot of CC coming down on their end to get that kill. Now we've got Abyssal trying to run away from the engage, but you've got Hawkthorn taking quite a bit of damage. There's the cage again, and it could be the Aphelios getting caught out here. He is able to survive, but he is taking a hell of a lot of damage there. Neither team really in a position to try and start up Drake, it looks like. Maybe the red team's going to go in here. Abyssal Sapphire, yeah, they find themselves relatively okay. The Zack's finally going to meet him over there. They're going to drag out the Drake, and they're going to get this show started. Aphelios in the area, though, trying to keep some pressure on him so they might have a chance to try and contest here. But I don't think it's going to happen. They're going to back off, and that is going to be a tie for the Drakes. Infernal going over to the side of Abyssal Sapphire. Cloud going over to the side of Hawkthorn eSports. And so we will see this game continuing to be neck and neck. Not even 1,000 gold difference between the two, as this bot lane duo starting to fight it out. We've still got a good CS lead on the Shen, a very good CS lead on the Veigar. All things relatively equal in the jungle in terms of gold. That's 2 kills over to the and 2 kills over to the Zack, but he is down quite a bit of CS to the Zenzao. And the bot lane's relatively equal. The hook lands on the Aphelios. He goes to engage. He's trying to follow up on the Senna. A lot of damage coming through. The ult lands. It's going to slow her down, and that's going to be Aphelios locking up the kill on the Senna. Now they're trying to get that Thresh. The Thresh is able to get killed by the W coming out of Zenzao. He's able to lock up the kill, and that is going to be a 2-for-0 trade on the bot side. Mordekiser, meanwhile, taking some damage, goes into the Death Realm, trying to survive. Putting out some damage, he's able to proc his passive, but he's not going to be able to survive. Shen is able to kill Mordekiser in the Death Realm. And so it's going to be a tie game, 6-for-6. Now we've got the re-engage coming from the Zack and the Veigar roaming down. They blow up the Karma. The Aphelios here trying to stay alive, but he gets popped by the Veigar, who uses his R to lock up that kill. Meanwhile, the Oriana is just trying to put as much pressure as she can, and she'll get first turret gold. So we've got a lot of back and forth. Only 100 gold separating these two teams right now. It is a very fun game. If you're watching, let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but this game is going crazy. And we've got pings coming out left and right. Oriana trying to stop the back of the Shen. She is very strong in health. Zenzao getting caught out by 3 people here. He's trying to output some damage back on. He's not able to do it. He tries to flash out. The flash doesn't get him over the wall. He missed the flash. And Senna is able to get the kill, and that's going to be Oriana trading back over to the Shen. Very good roam from the side of Hawkthorn to get the kill over on the Shen. That poor Zenzao. He tried to flash away and was not able to get his flash off. He didn't clear the wall, and he got killed there. That feels kind of bad for him. Again, this game's very tight, just 100 gold separating the two teams after all these trades back and forth. CS differences here and there. We've got dragons on both sides. This game is turning out to be a very fun match. And there's the Senna collecting her souls. Next time we get Senna on camera, I'm going to try and get an idea of how many souls she's at for us so that we can try and get... Let's just do a quick look here. So she's only at 26 souls. Not the place you really want to be at 15 minutes, but she's doing very well. She's got her Kraken Slayer. She's already got 2 kills. She's about tied in CS, has a little extra gold coming in from the Thresh, so she's not complaining about where she's at in this game right now. Yeah, leave it be. There you go. Good call, Mordekiser. Otherwise, you would have got caught up in that cage, and then the Zack would have jumped in, and you would have been bye-bye for days. Meanwhile, the Karma roaming up to help the Oriana mid clear that wave. Zack finding himself out of position here. The W lands. He's going in. The Mordekiser lands. The ult comes out from Senna. It doesn't do too much. The cage will save these guys, and they will live to fight another day. They're going to put Prio on the Rift Herald and start it up right now. They know that Zack's in the area. They know that they're on vision, but they don't care. They've got all 5 members up here to lock it down. Meanwhile, Senna is just farming in the bot side, getting some turret plating. Not turret plating, but getting some pressure on that turret and getting some CS. We've got a hell of a fight breaking out here on the top side red jungle. Damage being traded everywhere. Oriana is able to lock up the kill onto the Zack. That's going to be the Veigar and the Shen falling. And the 5-man team of Hawkthorn eSports now find themselves in a very good position to lock up that Rift Herald, as it's going to be cleared out here. Senna is able to match back and answer a turret on the bot side, keeping the gold relatively close, about 1.5 thousand inside of Hawthorn eSports after that big fight for them, getting the 3-for-0 kill trade. So we're going to have to see how everything shakes out here, but right now we've got Hawkthorn eSports playing to their win condition, fighting a good team fight, getting the Rift Herald, getting pressure on the map. But that Senna on the bot side was able to continue to get big, and she is going to have her Rage Blade now. Now, to my knowledge, they nerfed the way the Rage Blade interacts with the Senna, so I'm interested to see how well this will scale for her. But I think it could be very good. And look at the vision again. Blue has a lot of vision inside the red jungle. They're able to track where everybody's rotating from and get those picks. The vision score difference on the Karma and the Thresh is huge right now. Teleport coming down from the Shen. He's in the area. His ult's not quite up. He's going to hang out here as the Drake is spawned. And we're going to see a fight breaking out here. Let's take this down, get that up so we know what's going on. The Zen's out, dashing in. He gets melted through, caught with the hook, and he is going to get killed by the Senna. Now, you've got the Zac in there trying to soak up some of that damage and give him a chance to kill the Mordekiser, but he will fall as well. Both junglers are down while this Drake's up, but that's going to be 2 kills going over to the side of Abyssal. That's going to be 4 kills. Abyssal might get the ace here. They are going to lock up the kill. That's a triple kill for the Veigar and an ace for the side of Abyssal Sapphire. They find themselves with no contestation here, and they're going to lock up their second Drake of the game, the Mountain Drake. It will be the soul that we see here, and it's going to be burned down here and locked up. Good job from Abyssal eSports. Let's take a look and do a state of the map check-in. 2 kills over to the side, 2 plus kills over to the side of Abyssal Sapphire. Gold, literally less than 100 within each other. 20 minutes into the game, this is exactly where you want to be. This is a fun game to watch. If you're in the chat, let me know. Who do you think's executing on their draft? Who do you think's going to win? Who are you rooting for? I'd love to hear some comments and get engagement from you guys. We've got the Shen up here clearing some vision and then roaming back to top side where those two have just been farming it out for the most part. The Mordekiser down in CS, but up in kills. Let's take a look at the gold state real quickly, actually. We're going to see that the Shen is down about 1,000. The Zac is down about 1,000. The Oriana down just 500. And that Senna up almost 2 grand. So we've got a very back and forth state of the map here. But there's the Shen taking some damage, dealing out some damage to this Aphelios, but he's going to get some help from the Karma. Karma comes down, the ult comes out from Senna, and they are able to lock up the kill onto the Aphelios. And now Shen coming in, he's not going to fall. Karma tries to get the kill, but she's going to get ran out of there and poked away, and she's not able to get the trade kill onto the Shen. So unfortunately, that is going to be a 1-0 trade in favor of Abyssal Sapphire. And now they are going to find themselves putting pressure on the top side of this map, and they're going to knock down the top side tier 1 turret. And that's the Zenzao putting some damage onto the Thresh. The W comes out, it lands, the ult comes out from Thresh, teleport's coming down, his shield is up. There's the ult from Zenzao. He flashes to stay on the Senna, gets the kill. There goes the Thresh down. Now we've got a fight breaking out. Veigar locks down his cage. It's a 4v3 here on the top side. Aphelios is going to be there just a little bit late, and that's going to be one more kill traded over to the side of Abyssal Sapphire as they lock up the kill. The W will just barely miss from the Shen, and that's going to be enough pressure that they decide to go ahead and start up the Drake. Everybody's in the area now, and they're going to go ahead and work this thing down. Zac going to hover in the area. He's going to get caught out by the Oriana, and that's unfortunate. And so here comes the Zac. He's going to try and get in there. Zac is able to smite away the Baron. He's able to steal the Baron for the side of Abyssal Sapphire. That is incredible. What a play coming out of the Zac there as he is able to lock up and smite the Baron and get a big shift in energy going over to the side of Abyssal Sapphire. They lost a lot of members there, but they got Baron on, I think, all 4 members that are alive now, as Zac is going to be the only one that doesn't have it. That is a huge gold swing to counter out the fact that they lost that fight, and it is a huge shift. So that is not what you want to see if you are on the side of Hawkthorn eSports, as that is going to be Abyssal Sapphire with a beautiful play from the Zac, stealing the Baron once Hawkthorn eSports melted it down. Incredible play from the Zac. That might be MVP material. We'll have to take a look. And this could be the third Tier 1 turret falling for the side of Hawkthorn eSports. It's certainly got a lot more damage on it than the top side Tier 1, so they could have all the pressure of the Tier 1s here shortly. Ping's coming out as the Drake's going to be spawning in a minute 20. Or Karma taking a lot of damage there. Oriana able to shield her a little bit, but she's still down to half health. That Veigar is starting to output a hell of a lot of damage. He's got his mythic completed. He's setting on the Zonia. He's going to be going into the Banshee's Veil. Meanwhile, I love the Leandries coming out from the Oriana to melt some damage and put some burn down on these team fights. We've got the Riftmaker coming through, a lot of itemization coming through on all these folks here. The Shirelia's Battle Song on the Karma, they want to be able to charge into those fights if they need to. The gold within 100 of each with each team is within 100 gold, and they find themselves at 24 minutes, a relatively equal game state. We've got two Drakes over to the side of Abyssal Sapphire. They are going to be in prio for this next Drake, so this could be the shift we start to see as they were able to lock up Baron. They're going to be putting themselves on Soul Point potentially here, and they have all three outer turrets. So even though the gold is relatively equal, the pressure is very much in favor of the side of Abyssal Sapphire. 5 seconds till the Drake's here. The flash comes out. There's the hook. Karma's going to get blown up, and that is a kill going over to the side of Abyssal Sapphire as they are able to lock up that Karma as she is out of position. None of the other members from the side of Hawkthorn eSports are going to go to the area. They're going to give over Soul Point to the side of Abyssal Sapphire, and they are going to put some pressure on that top side of the turret and try and trade top side of the map and try and trade over that Tier 1 turret. However, you've got three members charging about, maybe looking to make a play and catch him off guard. The Thresh and the Zenzal going to roam that way as Senna will pick up the farm in the mid lane. Meanwhile, we've got the Mordekiser and the Shen farming it out in the bot lane. And we've got the bounties setting on the side of Hawkthorn eSports, still within 1,000 gold of each other. This is a very back-and-forth game, very equal game state. The pressure still feels like it's more in favor of Abyssal Sapphire, though. They had the Baron. They were able to get the drag off it, put themselves on Soul Point. They were able to put some pressure around the rest of the map, and they got... Quite frankly, they got a pick off of it as well. Now here comes the passive getting procced on the Mordekiser. They're in the death realm here right now. It's going to be a 3v1 when they come out, and that is going to be Zenzal locking up the kill on the Shen. Thanks to the Mordekiser putting out a lot of damage. Right now, everything kind of calm across the map. Nothing crazy going on here. That kill over onto the Shen did give the side of Hawkthorn eSports a little bit of a gold advantage now, but still under 1,000 gold difference between these two teams as we find ourselves at 26 minutes in. The Drake is going to be joining us in about 3 minutes, but before that, the Baron will be here in about 1:30. So I expect to see the next fight happening around Baron here in just a couple moments. You can already see Red, a lot of vision in the area, tracking their own side and the side of the river so that they know what's going on. Blue trying to match, but they've got a lot of vision in their own jungle so they know they don't get blown up when they're walking through it like that Karma. So we've got to give respect where it's due. The burst potential coming out of the side of Abyssal Sapphire is huge. There's the Zenzal chasing relatively deep, but he is deeply outnumbered here. And we've got ourselves a game. Senna topside out of position. Oh no, she's doing fine. She's on her side. I thought she was pushing into the enemy side. My fault. And Baron joining us in just over 30 seconds. Both teams in the area now. The top laners each have their teleport up. The ult is available from Shen as well. So we could see a fight breaking out here any moment. Red side walking on vision, letting the blue side know where they're at. Blue side backing right now. They're going to get some resets in just before it spawns. Put themselves in as much of an item advantage as they can. Xin Zhao sitting on 3 items right now. The Athema's chains coming out from the Mordekiser. And yeah, we've got a very fun little game working out here. Now, what's going to happen? The Oriana's backing. Baron's spawned. Red has position, but they're trying to clear out some vision here. Teleport coming in from the Oriana to the Baron area. And it's going to be a 5v4 as Shen finds himself on the bot side. He still has ult and teleport up, so he can very easily join the fight. But right now, it's a 5v4. If there's a pick to happen, it could go roughly. Now, the Baron has been started up. Both teams have vision on it. Lots of vision coming through as everything pulls up here. We've got the blue side still trying to melt it down. They're going to peel off the Baron and get this engage going. Shen still down in the bot lane, a 5v4 in favor of Hawkthorn eSports. The W lands, nothing will come of it. They're poked off, and they're going to get started back on the Baron, it looks like, after they clear out this vision. You've got some members. Here comes the jump. There's the stun from the Veigar. A lot of damage comes out, and that's going to be the Xin Zhao getting locked up from the Veigar cage, and that will now put a man advantage on the map for the side of Abyssal Sapphire. They find themselves 4v4 on the top, and they still have a member bot side, putting a lot of pressure on that bot side turret. They're going to start to work on this Baron, as Xin Zhao does not have any presence on the map. He's dead. They don't have a smite they have to worry about. There's the Mordekiser ult coming down onto the Veigar. The passive just burning him apart. He's going to Zhonias. Meanwhile, the Shen trying to get away. That's going to be Aphelios falling to the side of Abyssal Sapphire. It's a 2v1 on the map, a 1v1 for this fight. Make a 2v1 for this fight. The Mordekiser will fall. A lot of red over here, still has health, and that's going to be the side of Karma falling as well. We've got Oriana getting chased down here. The rest of the team going to go ahead and just lock up Soul real quickly over the Baron. Oriana going to try and keep them poking out. There's the flash. There's the dash. Trying to catch over the... Oh, he's not able to blow it up. They get blown over to the same side. Oriana's not able to keep the distance away from him and the Shen. And it's going to be a 2v1, though. The Shen is going to possibly get locked up here by the... Oh, there's the Zhonias. A lot of damage coming down from the knockup comes through. And that's going to be the Shen getting killed by the Oriana as they are able to 2v1 that Xin Zhao in the area. There goes the Thresh. Xin Zhao, zero respect given to the 3 men there, but it will be the side of Abyssal Sapphire that is able to get the Mountain Soul in this game. There goes the Xin Zhao. He falls. He's not able to trade over a kill. It is still a man advantage for the side of Hawkthorn eSports. Let's take a look at the game state right now. Still, only about a little over 1.5 thousand gold difference in favor of the side of Abyssal Sapphire. That is the red team. They do have Mountain Soul right now. And both teams starting to vie over position of the Baron pit now. Now that Soul's been locked up, there's nothing else to really do. Right now, nothing too crazy going on. Both teams just clearing out vision, trying to give respect to the other side, making sure that they are able to try and get Prio over the Baron here. Want to do a quick state of gold. Top about even. Zen Zhao very far up over the Zac, but the Zac has felt like he has had quite a bit of presence on the map. Veigar up about 3,000 over the Oriana, and we've got the Senna about 4,000 over the about 3 to 4,000 over the Aphelios. We've got a fight breaking out between the Oriana and the Shen. Shen going to try and trade some of that damage, but the movement speed from Oriana's W is able to help out. She's going to go ahead and try and put some damage. He has to dash away, and we've got the red side starting up Baron right now. There's the Veigar cage, trying to keep some distance between the blue team. A lot of damage goes on to the Mordekiser. The W from Senna will miss. We've got a fight breaking out here. And nothing's going to come of it. They were starting up the Drake, clearing some vision, a little bit of poking coming down, but it looks like Senna's going to go catch that massive top wave. Shen is going to continue to go down to the bot as his teleport and ult are still up. Mordekiser does not have that same autonomy as he does not have his teleport for another couple seconds. And so there's the W from the Zen Zhao. A lot of damage coming down onto the Thresh. Veigar puts his cage down. That Mordekiser takes a beating. He's still doing okay. The flash comes out from the Veigar, from the Zen Zhao onto the Veigar. Mordekiser gets killed by the Veigar R. Now we've got a fight breaking down. It's a 4v3. Oriana coming in. She pops her ult. She's trying to put out some damage. She kills the Thresh. It's a 3v1 in terms of this Zac, but he's able to absorb a lot of that damage, and that's going to be 3 kills going over the side of Abyssal Sapphire. They are able to get everybody wiped out of here except for the Oriana. She had the flank. She got the trade onto Thresh, but unfortunately, everything did not go as planned for the side of Hawkthorn eSports. This is now going to be Baron going over to the side of Abyssal Sapphire. They find themselves with a 4,000k gold lead. They are setting on all 4 Drakes at this point on a Mountain Soul. They've got a Senna who's feeling very large, a Veigar who's feeling very large. They've got the map pressure as far as the turrets go, and now they have Baron. And with Baron, they will reset, and we will see what happens. This could be the end of the game, folks. We have Elder coming up in a minute and a half, though, so they may press for that, try and win a team fight, and get out of here. We'll see what happens. It would hate to be, you'd hate to see a waste of the Baron in terms of not being able to get any advantages here. There's the pick onto the Veigar. A lot of damage coming through. It's a 3v1 here. He's still alive. The Zen Zhao trying to get some kills. There's the Mordekiser, just letting the passive do all the hard work, and he will fall. Now that's the Shen going down, and that's a 2v1 trade over to the side of Hawkthorn eSports. They are able to take the Baron off 2 of the members, and they are off the map for about a minute now. You've got 3 remaining members in the mid trying to push down. They're going to have to run away. They know they're outnumbered. And yeah, there's nothing much they can do at this point. That's an unfortunate turn of events for the side of Abyssal Sapphire after getting that Baron. They give over 2 kills in the jungle. They get a pick, and now we've got the side of Hawkthorn eSports putting some pressure on this mid turret and possibly setting up for another pick inside of the jungle again. If you've got a strategy and it works, do it. Why not? There comes the Zac with the engage. He's going to try and lock up the Senna, but he will only manage to slow her down a little bit. That is still going to be the tier 2 mid turret falling, and now we've got equal pressure across the map in terms of the turrets. 2 bot and 2 mid falling for each team. So we're going to have to see how this fight breaks out. Blue team doing a great job of setting up for skirmishes, setting up for picks. They're going to get caught on vision. The hook lands. There goes the teleport. And Mordekiser taking a lot of damage as the team is ready for him. Their Oriana gets blown up. And this could be a fight going in Abyssal Sapphire's way. They've got the Mordekiser killed. They've got the Oriana killed. They lock up the Aphelios. Zen Zhao and Karma are still in the area. Zen Zhao's going to back as they start to melt the Elder. And now they've got Baron on a couple members. They've got the Elder Drake going to them. They've got Mountain Soul. There's not much that I think the side of Hawkthorn eSports can do. They find themselves 6,000 gold down at this point. They're going to march on. They still have almost 30 seconds without some of those members. Senna's going to pop her W, get them moving in as quickly as possible, try and knock down this turret and put as much pressure as they can. They should be at least able to get an inhib here. There's the Karma Poke. Does almost nothing to anybody with those shields from the Mountain Soul. They're going to go ahead and knock on the door and get the mid inhibitor. and it looks like they're going to rotate over, and they're just going to let Zach and Thresh tank some of these as they start working on this base turret on the bot side. This is really a swing in favor from the side of Abyssal Sapphire. They are doing a very good job turning some of those fights, doing the same thing that Hawkthorn eSports did. They got to pick on onto the Karma, onto the Mord, and they were able to turn it around. Now you've got Baron falling off, but they're still doing well. Karma doing a great job of trying to put the poke out onto the side of Abyssal Sapphire. They are up 8,000 gold, 5 kills for Drakes, 2 turrets, and a Partridge in a Pear Tree. So they've got a lot going for them at this point. They're going to keep the pressure on this bot side base turret. Zach hopping in, trying to distract. The Oriana ult comes down, locks some people up. Mordekiser is able to get the pull. The flash comes out from Zach. Senna ult comes through, trying to save her teammates, and does a very good job. Not a whole lot of need for it, as they were probably going to get out of there okay, but why not use it and secure it? And they're going to keep the pressure here. There's the Senna, there's the Thresh. They are trying to put work onto that turret, and it will fall. There it is. They're going to have a good run here. They get an extra 3 turrets off of that push, 1 inhib, and they find themselves in a very dominant position. Hawkthorn eSports has to find a win condition, whether that is getting more picks in the jungle, trying to play around some objectives, or having a split push, Mordekiser split push like it is his job. You've got to come up with a solution. Otherwise, Abyssal Sapphire is going to continue to march down and play the game that they are doing. Because right now, they're playing their game and they're winning. There's got to be an answer from Hawkthorn eSports. Otherwise, this game is a GG. We round out 40 minutes, and it's going to be about a 8,000 gold difference in favor of Abyssal Sapphire. All right, we have the red team, Abyssal Sapphire, setting up for a potential pick in rotation for Baron. It's going to be on the map here in 20 seconds. Blue team is going to have to answer. They find themselves down right now. Hawkthorn eSports needs to come up with a response, so they're going to try and go through the jungle. There's the flash out of the Veigar. The ult lands, and that's going to be the Aphelios who gets blown up. We see that the Zac is in the area. We see that the Baron is spawning, and the side of Abyssal Sapphire is going to rush over, ping the Baron, and it looks like they want to get this started. Zhao trying to figure out if there is a way for him to match, try and steal, but it was the Zac earlier who stole away from the side of Hawkthorn eSports, and they absolutely demolish the Baron. That is going to be Abyssal Sapphire with Baron up 10k at this point. They find themselves with the man advantage for another 30 seconds as Aphelios, the ADC, is down from the map. And so there comes the teleport. He's teleporting bot. You now see Veigar and Shen coming in, putting pressure on that bot side inhib. There's the Oriana. She gets blown up with that Veigar R. What is the cooldown on that Veigar R? My goodness, that's up often as he's able to blow away both champions with the R so far. Now the pressure is coming down onto the Nexus turrets. The Nexus turrets getting melted. We've got damage coming down onto the side of Hawkthorn eSports. Quite a bit of pressure, and this is going to be the end of the game. Abyssal Sapphire is able to win the game here as they get the Nexus, and that's going to be game 1 of the series going over to the side of Abyssal Sapphire. Stay tuned for game 2 in the series as we see how Hawkthorn eSports will try and answer the side of Abyssal Sapphire. Thanks for tuning in, and if you haven't done it, hit the follow button. We do this almost every night.
Filtered body slowly covering the light. Pull the trigger every night to stay alive. Hope is wishing, but you're running out of time. If I could only read your mind. Read your mind. If I could only
All right, everybody, and thank you for tuning back into the second game in the series between Hawthorn eSports and Abyssal Sapphire. We've got Abyssal on the side of blue and Hawkthorn on the side of red, and their drafts are coming through right now. We've got a Shen into a Kayle, the Diana into the Zac, the Gangplank going to go mid into the Irelia. Looks like we're going to see some respect given to the Warwick, but he will not be locked in. And then there's the Vayne into the Ezreal, and our supports are going to be a Thresh into a Rell. So, looking at the state of this map, I love what I am seeing here. You've got the late game scaling from Kayle, the global ult from Gangplank. Ezreal with Divine Sunder is very strong right now. Zac has the solid engage along with the Thresh. I like what I'm seeing coming out of the side of Abyssal Sapphire. We've got the Shen over here with his global ultimate still. The Diana is a very strong jungler and has an ult that can wreck a team fight. Same thing with the Aurelia. And then we've got the Vayne and the Rell. Now, I love Vayne. I would have loved to have seen her more with a Lulu instead of the Rell, because I think that is just a busted duo. But the Rell is still very strong. She's got solid engage. She's very tanky. She can cut through the armor of other members of the team. So I do like what I see there, but I think that the late game potential from the side of Sapphire, Abyssal Sapphire, is very strong. Kayle is going to be a huge late game threat, so you've got to give respect over. If you don't, she will just run over you. So Shen has to try and shut her down. Deny gold, push the wave, deny experience, get her to back often. If Diana can roam up to the top side, make sure that she's not able to have a presence in the game until as late as possible. Then there's time for that Vayne to scale up, for the Irelia and the Diana to have some pressure in the early game, and go ahead and get the side of Hawkthorn eSports rolling. If not, though, the Kayle will come online, and especially with that Ezreal and Gangplank as well, there's going to be a lot of poke damage coming out there. The Gangplank Q hurts. It hurts so bad. It makes him almost functionally a ranged champion, and he can proc so much of his damage off of there with the grasp or his crit with the barrels and everything else, that there's a lot of potential for that Gangplank to wreck up a team fight as well. I don't feel good for the Aurelia. She's going to be able to CS well with her Q, but when he starts landing that Q, especially once he gets his Sheen and everything else, that'll start to hurt quite a bit. Now, you've got the Ezreal and Thresh into the Vayne and the Rell. I think there is a bit more engage coming out from the Thresh than the Rell, but she can absorb quite a bit of damage over him. So I think there's a chance for the Vayne and the Rell to make it work, especially if they're able to get off that E-stun combo, condemn into a wall, and start making things happen. But Ezreal's a slippy little bugger. He's got mobility for an ADC. He's able to use his dash, get away, and he can put some real damage out with his skill shots once he gets going. So there's a chance that Ezreal can make things happen with the Thresh, but I think in lane, the Vayne and the Rell have a very solid chance if they're able to land the stun and the condemn on there. Overall, though, I think Abyssal Sapphire is going to have a real shot at winning this. This could be a 2-0 series, but I don't know yet. We'll have to see what happens. In the meantime, stay tuned. If you haven't hit the like button or the follow button, go ahead and do it. You can also follow me on YouTube and Facebook. I'd appreciate that. But otherwise, stay tuned and we'll get in the game here shortly.
In this world, allow them shut, they'll do fine without me. The chemicals in my head don't work as yours, 'cause every piece of earth is a little bit of happiness. Every kind of love causes a little bit less regret. Please strike me thunder. Let me get closer to the light. Let me go under the water till I can breathe. Let me go
All right, and as we load in, we are going to take a look at their summoner spells in their runes here real quickly. We've got the Ignite coming out from the Thresh, the Exhaust coming out from the Rell, heal on both our ADCs, the Gangplank going for kill pressure with the Ignite, teleport on the rest of the solo laners. Everything else looks pretty standard across the board, so we're not going to see anything too crazy this game. Let's get everything pulled up so you guys can see what's going on here. And both teams are going to make their way to the Rift right now as we speak. And let's take a look at the buys. Everything makes sense so far. Zach going with the Chilling Smite, Challenging Smite coming out onto the Diana. And we're going to see how these teams spread out across the map and how they prepare to get this game started. This is game 2 in a best-of-3 series. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm CharlesEllroy. On the game today, we have Abyssal Sapphire on the side of blue, Hawkthorn eSports on the side of red. Thank you very much to those organizations for letting me stream and shoutcast the game. If you want to, go look them up and follow them. They are some great teams. The first game was a very even play, and this second game looks to be just as fun. So we'll get everything started here. Thanks for tuning in. Both teams going to go ahead and 5-point out. Nothing too crazy going on here. Some trade and vision on both sides of the map, and we're going to see nothing else going on. I like the Gangplank flex to the mid. I think that's a nice little answer to the Irelia. I think that the Gangplank able to keep that distance with his Q poke with his barrels will have a very good time in lane and proccing lots of his grasp. So let's see how it gets underway as both teams going to go ahead and leash. The bot side going to Diana, Kayle helping the Zac on the top side. And everything is getting underway now as the bot side's going to fake leash here and do a very good job of not letting the other side know where Zac is getting started. And look at that Gangplank already in the mid lane, putting a lot of damage onto the Irelia. Let's pull this up so folks can see here. And the Shen will have, for the first 5 levels at least, a very easy time keeping this Kayle at bay. There's the engage already coming from the rail. The flash comes out, the heal comes out, not able to make anything happen. The auto comes out from the Vayne, and she's able to lock up first blood on the Thresh. That was the E combo with the Rell, the condemn, and then follow up. Very good combo coming out of the side of Hawkthorn eSports to lock up that first blood. Now, the Ignite goes down, and this could be, yes, it's going to be a trade kill back over to the side of Abyssal Sapphire as Irelia will fall to the Gangplank. She's up in CS, but not for long. She may have to burn her TP here just to get back to lane. She's going to run it down, and by then the Gangplank will be back up to snuff. That was a very good play coming out of both sides of the map here. The bot duo doing a great job, the Vayne flashing to get that kill and then backing out of there afterwards. And great engage and everything else. Now the Diana coming in. Flashes left and right. The dash doesn't connect for the Shen, and he's able to get out, and the Kayle is able to get out of there with her own flash. Stun misses on the Irelia. And this Gangplank is going to go ahead and just heal through. Remember, his W gives him healing and removes crowd control. So he has a built-in sustain here. See pings coming out left and right. Diana might be going for a repeat gank on the top side now that her flash is gone. She's going to read it correctly, though, as it looks like Shen moved up a little early there. And she's on vision. She goes in. She gets some damage down onto the Kayle. She's trying to outpace her, blocking her off a little bit, taking some turret shots. A lot of damage coming down, and that's going to be Diana locking up the kill onto the Kayle as she will throw her Q out there and manage to secure it. This game is off to a very exciting start. And now the That's a great dodge coming out of the Vayne, playing up a little bit, but they're going to get jumped in on the Zac, and now it's a 3v2. The Flay comes out, the Ignite comes down, and that's a lot of damage going on to the Vayne, but we see a teleport coming through for the Irelia. She's in the area. It's a 3v3 now. Both teams going to back off a little bit here. The Vayne still finds herself down a decent amount, but the Irelia is just going to run right back to lane. And the Thresh hook lands on the Rell. Nothing more will come of that. Everything else relatively even. That Shen is up quite a bit of CS right now, denying as much as he can from that Kayle, but she's level 4 already. She will find herself hitting level 6 here in the next couple minutes, and that is when she becomes a real champion on the map. Then when she hits 11, she gets the empowered autos after a little bit. Then at 16, she gets the constant powered autos, and at 18, she becomes the late game threat that we all know and love. We could have Zac coming into the mid lane here for a gank. He's charging up his jump, it looks like. The stun misses. The jump comes in, slowing up the Aurelia. She's going to try and dash away. The Ignite comes down. She's on the wrong side of the map. Meanwhile, Diana charging in. Zac wanting to go forward with it, get some vision on the Diana, and they're both going to back out. Nice gank from the Zac, but very good roam from the Diana to get up there and put the pressure on the other team so they're not able to follow up. We're going to see a lot of those back and forth plays throughout this game as we saw last game. I'm excited to see how this goes. Ezreal landing some skill shots on the Rell, continuing to poke out this bot side of Hawkthorn eSports. And Diana going for the invade on the Gromp. She's going to get spotted out here by the Zac. He starts to back, but no. Gangplank roaming up. Kayle not able to do much, still trying to just catch as much of that CS as she can. She's level 5. Sorry about that. And so there's the flash coming out of the Diana. She procs the passive onto the Zac, and the Shen comes down, making sure that they are able to secure that kill, and the Zac falls to the Diana. Now, that is a great play. The Gangplank able to drop down the ult onto the Aurelia. She thought she had the kill, but he is able to go ahead and proc the Q and let that last wave of the ult get her down and kill her. Very good play coming out of the Gangplank. And I would not be surprised if we see a lot of back and forth like this the entire game. I love it. Game right now within 400 points. The dragon on the map is currently the Infernal Drake, so we will not get to see an Infernal Soul, but we could see some other fun ones here. Now that she's a ranged champ, Kayle trying to establish dominance. The PTA procced, finds herself out number 2-1. The dash comes in from the Diana. The ult comes down. A lot of damage coming through. The smite goes on, and she is going to continue to just get poked out by that Diana, and Diana will lock up the kill on the Kayle there. Very good presence from Diana across the map. That's 3 ganks that have gone solidly for her now. She is able to definitely continue to snowball and help get the other lanes going. Ezreal ult comes out. Drake being started up. They're still putting some damage onto the Drake. Gangplank now pushing off the side of Hawkthorn eSports from the top. Ooh, there we go, and that's going to be the Infernal Dragon going over the side of Abyssal Sapphire. And we are going to see the next Drake is a mountain, so it will be a cloud or an ocean soul that we get this map. That can also affect the game quite a bit, as if it's an ocean, we will see a lot more bushes across the map, which means plenty of places for the Aurelia, the Diana, the Zac to jump out of. And here's the Diana topside again. She's going to get in there, but the ult comes out from the Kayle. It won't keep her alive very long. She's trying to trade out the damage onto the Shen, but she won't be able to do it. And that's going to be 4 kills over to the side of Diana at just 8-9 minutes into this game. Not where you want to be if you are Abyssal Sapphire. That Diana is going to be huge already. She's got 4 kills. She repeat ganks the Kayle, trying to stop that Kayle from getting as big as possible. But at this point, she's already level 6. She's a ranged champion. She just needs to stop playing up as much and just try and farm and CS up to a level 11 and get her Nashor's Tooth. Then she can look at proccing that PTA and trying to cut down through the Shen. She's also managed to lock up Rift Herald now, so that Rift Herald is setting on the Diana. Here's a fight breaking out in the bot lane. The Kayle taking some damage. The ult comes out. The Ignite goes down. She's able to use the heal and stay alive, and the flash teleport coming in from Shen. It's going to be a 3v2 now. Oh! The skill shots land, and Ezreal's able to get the kill onto the Vayne. He's trying to back out of there. The Thresh ult comes down to keep the 2 off of him. He takes a lot of damage, but he's going to survive. And now you've got a 2v1 breaking out in the mid lane. Gangplank getting killed by the Irelia. The Shen is going to get poked out here. Watch out for this Thresh. He's going to try and go in on the Ezreal here. He's able to put some damage out. The Lantern comes down, and he finds himself in a very bad position. He's able to try and run away, and then nothing more will come of it. Ezreal's still able to get that kill onto the Vayne. Meanwhile, Hawkthorn eSports trading that kill over to the side of Aurelia there and getting that Gangplank killed and off the map. He's been doing a very good job, but he played a little too far forward there, and another great job from Diana being at the right place at the right time. And this is not good for the Shen. That Kayle is just continuing to farm up here in the top lane. She gets a turret plate. She's putting some pressure down. She is going to get bigger than you want to. There's the proc of the Hextech. There's the ult from the Shen down. Good. Nothing's going to come of it. That is nice to see that the cooldown is off or active and off of the ult from the Shen for a little bit. So that's nice to get out of there. These two are going to go ahead and back and call it a day. Meanwhile, the Diana going in deep to try and invade here, but it's already been cleared out. Nothing will come of it, and even the Zack's able to get away scot-free. Still less than 1,000 gold difference at about 12 minutes into the game. We've got the Drake spawning here in about 2 minutes, so you should see teams starting to buy over position. I wouldn't be surprised if the Diana drops the Rift Herald mid to try and distract a little bit as we get closer, but she could drop it here topside and get some really gold onto that Shen and try and make it so that the Kayle is not safe to step up and farm here. So we are going to see them both wailing on this top tier 1 turret. That's going to be 4 turret plates going over to them, and they are going to try and knock this thing down. Zack and Kayle both running up, but it looks like this tier 1 turret is going to fall at 12 minutes, just a little after 12 minutes. Now the Kayle, in order to farm, has to extend herself outside of the position that she feels comfortable. And the Shen and the Diana are going to come up and try and do the 3rd gank of the game on her. She dashes in, the ult comes through, she's able to land some damage, the Kayle ult comes out, they're still going in, the Hextech comes through, and that's going to be a lot of damage coming on to the side of the Kayle. But wait here. Diana did take a little bit of damage, too many turret shots. She was able to flash away and use the dash to get away from the Zack from his engage. And so that's going to be a 1-for-0 trade in favor of the side of Hawkthorn eSports. This Gangplank continuing to farm very well into the Irelia, not playing up as much as he was before. Has to respect the Diana. You don't know where she's at, but she's sitting on 4 kills, 2 assists. She's about equal in CS with the Zack. She's already got her Proto Belt, she's already got her Sork Boots, and she's already got her Zhonia. It's not what you want to have run into you from the side if you're not ready for it. We've got Diana and Zack both hovering around the mid lane trying to make something happen. Both going to give respect off as the Mountain Drake is going to join the map here in about 2 seconds. And here it is. The Kayle trying to do what she can on the top side. She finds herself up a couple CS, but she is certainly down gold in lane if we look. She's down almost 700 gold. The Diana up almost 2,000 plus gold over the Zack. The Gangplank up about 800, and everything relatively even in the bot lane at this point. Pings coming out from the red side. They want to go ahead and lock up their first Drake of the game and get that Mountain Drake for themselves. They're going to bring it out. They're not going to bring it out. They're just going to go ahead and start it. Diana not wanting to carry it out into the river at all. She just wants to go. Zach tries to dive in for the steal. He's not able to do it. Takes the Lantern back over. Very good play from the blue team in an attempt to steal it, but that is going to be the Mountain Drake going over to the side of Hawkthorn eSports. And we're going to get to see an Ocean Soul this map. Lots of bushes everywhere. Like I said, this could be very advantageous for both teams, as the Zach can hide in places as well as the Diana and the Irelia, who are also able to be very sneaky. The Kayle trying to put down the beat down on this Shen, but she's not able to step up as far as she'd like. She doesn't have the security of a tier 1 turret, and there's no idea where Diana is at the moment. She knows she was bot side a moment ago, but no idea where she is right now. She could have ran straight up there. She's already ganked 3 to 4 times, and so Kayle just going to go ahead and back off respectfully here. She might be setting on enough gold to complete her Nashor's Tooth, but it does not look like it. There's the Aurelia ult flashing away, and the Gangplank ult comes down. The Ezreal ult misses, and it's not enough damage to kill the Aurelia or even deter her from going in under that turret and locking up the kill on him. That's going to be a play over to the side of Hawkthorn eSports. They find themselves now up 3,000 gold. They're going to go back on the Kayle again. My goodness, this Diana wants to take her on a date looking like this. So much damage coming out. The Kayle is going to fall here. She's going to save her ult. She knows she's dead. She tried it twice already and it didn't work. That Diana has got a crush on Kayle, and she is not afraid to show it. And the Rift Herald is up for another 3.5 minutes, so Diana's going to go ahead and get started, knowing that she has all the prio in the world on that top side, and that could be a lot more gold being infused into the side of Hawkthorn eSports. Now the Kayle and the Gangplank trying to put some pressure on the mid. What is the Kayle doing? Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea why the Kayle executed there. There was no need for that. Feels like maybe something could have happened, a disconnect or something, but I don't know. The Rift Herald comes down on the tier 2 topside turret. The Zac trying to stop it down. The Diana manages to flash over, procs the death onto the Zac. His passive is going to go. Her Zonia's goes. The ult comes through for the Shen, and they're going to manage to lock up the kill onto the Zac. Now, Thresh trying to keep him there so that they can get some damage down. Here comes the Gangplank running in at the last second. Kayle is going to try and stop this Rift Herald from going any further. There's the Gangplank ult. There's the hook. It lands. And that's going to be the Shen falling down. Now we've got a teleport coming in from the Aurelia. She's going to try and re-engage here. And the Vayne and the Vayne flashes over. She gets her third proc. The PTA is going down. She's going to try and get 2 more. She's going to manage to lock up the kill. It'll be traded over to the Ezreal. It will be a 1-for-1, but very aggressive play from the Vayne, taking the ADC off the map. And Rell is going to sit here and whack on that bot side turret. Meanwhile, Kayle, we're trying to figure out what's going on. She is back. It looks like she's CSing again, but I don't know what happened there mid. I'd love to get some info from the teams after the game and find out if that was a DC or if she is just tilted out of her mind. All right, we've got Ocean Drake joining the map here in about 50 seconds or so. Let's do a quick state of the game check-in. It's up 5 kills to 11 for the side of Hawkthorn eSports. There's the Zac, gets engaged on the Diana, ult comes out. His passive isn't available. He's able to jump away. The Shen is over in the area too, but nothing more will come of it. We've got 5 kills to 11 in favor of the side of Hawkthorn eSports. Each team with a Drake, Infernal to the side of Abyssal Sapphire, and Mountain to the side of Hawkthorn eSports. It is about a 4K gold lead in favor of Hawkthorn eSports, as they have managed to have a domineering presence on the map so far. Here's some damage. The Irelia putting it out onto the Kayle. The Kayle able to use her ult, and the Thresh play managed to keep her alive. Gangplank getting 4v1'd here in the bot lane, and he will fall. That is going to be the red team pinging out to the Dragon, and they are going to go lock up their second Drake of the game. Just out of interest here. Oh, there's some damage coming onto the Zac again. His passive is not up, and he keeps running into the Diana at the least opportune times. Let's get this out of the way so we can see this Drake fall, and it'll be the second Drake that Hawkthorn eSports is able to lock up this game. And the Ezreal just misses by a hair. Good effort there to try and steal it over, but unfortunately, they are going to lose that Drake over to the side of Hawkthorn eSports. And now Aurelia is going to make this tier 1, this base turret fall. She's going to try and follow up. The Gangplank ult comes out, the stun comes through, and it is a 4v1. Aurelia gets hit by the Zac. The slow comes down. Everybody's there. The hook lands. She's still trying to put it back around, and that's going to be a shutdown going over the side of Gangplank. We've got a very good game going here so far. It feels like Hawkthorn eSports is definitely up, but that gold lead of 4,000 has not managed to climb much, so Abyssal Sapphire doing a great job of slowing the bleeding down and trying to answer the call. And this could be another fight here. Why am I on manual? What's going on? There's the Zac. He gets blown up again, but he's able to take the lantern out of there. Sorry, I was ruffled by the directed cam not being on. Let's take a look and see what we've got going here. The red team, Hawkthorn eSports, wanting to start up the Baron now, putting some heavy damage onto it. The Vayne in the area, she's melting through with her Kraken Slayer. You've got the Diana sitting on 2 items now. The Ezreal ult tries to come out. We'll give them a little vision, but nothing more of it. And that's going to be the Baron going over the side of Hawkthorn eSports. And so now we have ourselves with a very dominant game. Hawkthorn eSports up 6 kills, 5k, 3 turrets, 2 Drakes, and a Baron. And look how fast that Rell is. If you play TFT, that could be the Cavalier bonus letting her charge in there. Wouldn't that be a game? All right. Aurelia going to try and get this turret. She jumps in, taking some damage, but no damage laid onto the Zac, so that will not proc the turret shots. There is a Baron-empowered wave there, and so nothing more will really come of that. Shen in the bot lane pushing it out. That 4k gold lead has climbed to almost 6k at this point. And we've got a 4-1 split coming out from the side of Hawkthorn eSports. 4 in the mid, 1 down on the bot side, and they're going to put pressure across the map here and try and push and pull it to do as much as they can. There's the dash, there's the flash, there's the ult, there's the Zhonias. And this Vayne takes a lot of damage, but they are able to get the tier 1 turret from mid and give themselves more pressure. They did take some damage in the process, though. No kills come out for the side of Hawkthorn eSports. Now they're getting hunted down by this Abyssal Sapphire team who smells blood in the water. Those empowered backs going to let them get out of there. No, they're not. They're going to stay. They might try and get a pick here on the Zac again. Kayle just continuously wanting to back here. The Diana goes in. They're going to prac the passive on the Zac. No, he's able to get away. Able to get the heal. No, he did fall down. Kayle is going to work on trying to get the Zac, but she's also fighting the Ezreal right now. There's the teleport coming in from Shen. The Kayle is dead. The Rell is dead. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but doesn't feel even. Now Shen trying to put out some damage on the Ezreal. And here's the side of Hawkthorn eSports continuing to put pressure on that tier 2 turret in the mid. Meanwhile, Aurelia on the top side distracting up to 3 members so that they have all the pressure in the world. And they're going to drop back and get the third Drake of the game for them, which will put them on soul point. This Ocean Soul is going to be huge for them. It will give them a lot of sustain. There's the Diana ult. She comes in. She gets the flash. A lot of damage coming down. However, it looks like... Where's the damage going? Red team taking a lot here. Kayle, they are able to get 3 kills over to the side of Abyssal Sapphire, and the Vayne will get 1 kill onto the Zac. That was not how Vayne wanted to play that out, but she was able to at least trade over a single kill there, and that could be the side of Abyssal Sapphire in position to get their second drink of the game and tie things up here. Diana is hovering in the area, though. She's looking to make things happen, as since the Zac is down, there is no smite coming out from the side of Abyssal Sapphire. And they're trying to hunt down the Kayle. The Ocean Drake is spawning. Ping still coming out from the side of Hawkthorn eSports that they want to get this dragon started. A lot of prio towards that. They're on vision. Blue team knows what's happening. Blue team going to try and steal it with a barrel, perhaps. We've got 3 members from the side of Hawkthorn eSports. That's the hook. Nothing comes of it. The Ezreal ult continuing to miss by just a hair. And that's going to be soul point over to the side of Hawkthorn eSports, as they will look for their 4th Drake of the game coming up here in about 5 minutes. Flash, ult, Irelia, putting some damage down. The Gangplank trying to nullify it with the ult, but nothing more will come of it, and that's going to be Irelia getting a solo kill onto the Gangplank. Meanwhile, Kayle falls on the top side over to the Rell. And you've got the Diana going hard onto the Ezreal. He's not able to sustain or get away, and that's going to be 3 members traded over to the side of... Traded over from the side of Abyssal Sapphire, and that's going to give them a lot of pressure to try and push for inhib and possibly end here, as they're down for at least 20 seconds. That's 2 turrets going over to the side of Hawkthorn eSports as they continue to put pressure. They're going to get this top side inhib. Blue team find themselves getting pinched in. The Rell engage comes through. The Vayne is working hard on this Thresh. She's going to trade out the aggro and try and let somebody else take it. But meanwhile, they're going to knock down the base turret in the bot lane and start working on the inhib down here. Thresh finds himself out of the game for 30 seconds. It's still a man advantage for the side of Hawkthorn eSports. They're going to work on this inhib, and that will fall. They're going to back out of there, getting 2 inhibs and putting a lot of pressure. The one place you don't want to have inhib is a top or bot. The one place you don't want to lose inhib is top or bot. Having both down means that you've got to do a lot of running back and forth to try and answer those super minions. So it's not very fun. But we will see Hawkthorn eSports resetting here. And that was a great play coming out of Hawkthorn eSports. They now find themselves with about a 7,000 gold lead. Up 8 kills, up 2 Drakes, and they have 7 turrets and 2 inhibs. They are amassing quite the amount of pressure here. With Baron spawned, they are going to move right into position and try and get this thing started, or at least get prio and maybe a pick off here. Scryer Bloom pop, they see that blue team is in the area, and this Diana, not afraid to go ahead and get things started. She flashes, she R's, she's doing some damage, she's laying it down on him. The Zac doesn't have his passive up. There's the zone. He was waiting for Aurelia to get here. The stun comes through, but the Zac will flash out of there. Meanwhile, the Shen is just tanking this Baron while the Vayne melts it down, and they're going to have Baron here in just a second. There's the Baron. Oh! That is Gangplank with the ult on the Baron, able to steal it over. And now Abyssal Sapphire find themselves with the Baron empowered minions going into Hawthorn eSports. That is not how they wanted that to play out. Had they waited for the Diana to be there and let her smite it down, that might not have happened, but Diana was being aggressive, keeping the rest of the team off and just letting the Vayne work it down. There's the hook. There's the Vayne. She gets blown up by the Ezreal, and this could be a turn of fate for the side of Abyssal. Oh, that's going to be the Kayle activated. Double kill going over to the Ezreal. 3 members dead for the side of Hawkthorn eSports, and they're going to put the pressure on. Abyssal Sapphire not really in a position to utilize the Baron, but that is certainly a shift for them. They find themselves now less than 4K down, only 5 kills now, and they are answering back on this map saying we're not going to go down that easy. So I love this kind of play coming out from the side of Abyssal Sapphire. Baron steal with Gangplank called. That is a hell of a play. If you're just tuning in, this is the second game between Abyssal Sapphire on the side of blue, Hawkthorn eSports on the side of red. They've had a back and forth game. The first match, it was Abyssal Sapphire that locked up. Now Hawkthorn eSports being very dominant, but we just saw Gangplank steal the Baron away from the away from the side of Hawkthorn eSports as they were melting it down, and so we could see a little bit of a turn here. Meanwhile, this Zac starting to absorb a lot more damage. Ult misses from Ezreal. 3v2, the Gangplank ult comes down. It's a 2v4. Does the Rell realize that she's out of position here? She's taking a lot of damage. The skill shots land, and that's going to be Rell falling down. But it'll be too little too late as it looks like the Gangplank and the Zac are going to fall. Now we've got the Thresh very likely about ready to get melted here by the Vayne. The Ezreal trying to flash get away. No, too much damage comes out. That's a quadra kill for the Vayne. And the Irelia is here at the base putting the beat down on the Kayle. Kayle trying to flash back, get the kill over. And the Kayle's going to chase, get stunned, and get blown up by the Irelia. The Kayle is tilted out of her mind. She's 1 and 9 and shouldn't have chased there. Could have defended the Nexus turrets. This is going to be the red team beating down the turret. Here comes the Nexus. Hawkthorn eSports has answered, and that's going to be a 1-for-1 in this series. Woo! Love this game. That is the end of Game 2 going over to Hawkthorn eSports. That is a 1-for-1 in the series. Stay tuned for the last game of the series as we will see who wins it. And if you haven't done it yet, hit the follow button. You can get more of this every day of the week. Thanks. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in to the final game between Abyssal Sapphire and Hawkthorn eSports. We are going to get into the client draft now as they get everything lined up.
They cannot understand. I smell fear. I shall rule.
So we will see a Syndra and a Nivea band coming out of the side of Hawkthorn eSports. And we're also going to see the Nasus band. So this has been the same standard band they've been going with almost every time. The Fiora into the Shen. I love the Fiora. And a lot of the same bands coming out from the other side here. As we'll see the Lucian, the Shyvana, Diana. They do not want to go against a Diana again. I do not blame them. Sejuani. the Nocturne. I love this. We're seeing a completely different setup. The Shen's been played 3 games. He's doing well, and we're going to see the Kayle going mid. And the Neeko. I haven't seen Neeko picked in a minute. I love the Neeko pick. The Vayne ban coming out. Vayne was able to run over the game last game. There's the Victor ban. We've seen him a couple times ban this series. The final ban is going to be a Samira ban. And that's the Veigar. They don't want to see it happen. Kai'Sa insta-locked. I love it. Kai'Sa. The Ashe. And who will the support be? Rell. And that's the Alistar locked in. All right. Well, we've got ourselves quite a match. Let's take a look at this. I love Fiora into Shen. Tank Buster instead of going tank to tank or trying to let the late game scale happen. The Kayle was not able to match up to that. Was not able to match up to the Shen last game, so it's nice seeing this Kayle on the same team as the Shen and the Fiora going into the Shen this time. Fiora is great at just cutting through tanks, so I'm excited to see her try and come up with an answer for this Shen. His global ult's still been very impressive throughout the series, but we'll see how it goes. You've got the Sejuani into the Nocturne. Nocturne is so strong right now. He has a huge gank potential with his R. The Paranoia can just shut down a lot of different things, so that is not super fun to go into at all. But you've got the Sejuani who is just going to do some work. Sejuani can throw down, and she's going to become very tanky, which will possibly nullify the Nocturne in some of those fights. We've got a Neeko into the Kayle. I hope the Neeko is able to slow down that Kayle like the Shen was last game. The Kayle can be a huge late game carry. Again, though, I'm surprised we're not seeing a Lulu with some of these hyperscales like the Ashe or like the Kayle. We do see the Ashe and the Kayle Ashe and the Rell come out. The Rell was great engaged last game. The stun's coming through and a lot of dive potential. So excited to see that happen again. We've got the Alistar and the Kai'Sa. If that Alistar is able to lock up some knockups and get some CC landed onto the Ashe, the Kai'Sa can follow up. And if she goes that Dirk, Noon Quiver, and pickaxe build, she's able to get that upgraded Q very quickly and start putting out a lot of damage onto the side of Hawkthorn eSports. We've got 2 minutes until the game starts. We will get started. I want to say a special thank you to both Hawkthorn eSports, Abyssal Sapphire. Thank you very much for letting me shoutcast and stream your game tonight. Much appreciated. I hope you guys both have the best of luck in this last game to see who wins the series. If you haven't done it yet, you can go ahead and hit the follow button. I shoutcast games almost every night of the week for different organizations here on my Twitch, or you can check out my schedule and see where I'll be. Tomorrow night we are going to be doing another game for Limitless Void, going into Literal Ducks. So come on in at around 5 p.m. tomorrow and you'll be able to see that. Hit the follow button. You can also go onto Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and follow me on all those media outlets, as I will also post highlights from the games and everything else there. Stay tuned as we get into the Game 3 of the series. Alright, looks like we've got teleports coming through on all of our solo laners, heal on our ADCs, exhaust on Rell, and ignite on the Alistar. I love that ally skin. All the other runes look pretty standard from here, nothing too crazy going on. Some Sejuani mastery and some Neeko mastery, so that could be a fun turn of events for the side of Abyssal Sapphire. Alright, and we are going to get started as both teams are hopping onto the Rift as we speak. Let's get everything pulled up so we can see what's going on. Chillin' Smite coming out on the side of Sejuani, and the Challenging Smite coming out on Nocturne. Everything else looks pretty standard across the board. And we'll see how these teams decide to split out on the map. It looks like it's going to be a pretty standard 5-point. Nothing too crazy. Both teams just going to hang out here, kind of let everything happen the way it's going to happen. Nobody's going for an invade. Nobody's going for too deep a vision at this point. They're both just going to kind of relax and let everything shake out as it will. And we'll get underway with both of our junglers starting on the bot side, getting leashed by the bot duos. First Drake is going to be an Infernal Drake joining us. Sejuani almost didn't get her blue buff there. That would have felt kind of bad. And this Fiora playing very aggressively onto the Shen. Not afraid to trade out. She is a tank buster for a reason. Shen's been played all 3 games this time, the series. So, Ashe playing nice and aggressively, putting some poke onto that Kayle, using her distance advantage there. And yeah, Kayle's playing a very aggressive, Ashe is playing a very aggressive game into the Kai'Sa. That's going to be level 2. They're going to get the stun. The Alistar taking a lot of damage. The slow comes down from the W there. And the Q procced as well. They're going to just continue to poke out this bot lane duo. Sejuani going to run up and get the scuttle. Might be in a position to help get a bot side gank, but they've got vision, so they'll see her coming. Nocturne, in the meanwhile, doing a full bot side clear and then running top side. Sejuani coming on down. And we could see an engage going on to the Rell here. Rell's jumping out of the way. The stun is going to land from Sejuani. That is the Kai'Sa Q, and that is going to be Abyssal Sapphire locking up the first 2 kills of the game. First blood is going to go over to Abyssal Sapphire. That Kai'Sa is already 2-0, not how you want to start the game. What an incredible start for the Kai'Sa. Definitely able to land that kill onto the Ashe with the Q proc, and then they just followed up having Sejuani there and locked down the kill on the Rell as well. They did not take it back here, so they will find themselves Down slightly, I'm going to say slightly in items as she comes back with a dagger, but they're going to take this opportunity back, and she should be coming back with quite a bit more items than the Ashe has. And this Neeko is oppressive into the Kayle, managing to land skill shots and stuns on her so that there is absolutely no chance she can step up and try and collect this gold. That is the way you want to slow down a Kayle. Meanwhile, Shen up here amassing quite the wave that he's trying to push in here, but Fiora doing a great job of just kind of freezing it out here. Sejuani roaming around to the top side. They might be making a play onto the... oh! That's going to be Neeko locking up the kill onto the Kayle. The Comet will proc, and that will be the fall of Kayle. So good job. Neeko is going to be able to lock up a lot of CS here. She is up almost a little over twice as much CS. 38 to 15, so she finds herself with quite the advantage here. Meanwhile, Kaisa coming back with a call and 2 long swords, so you are going to feel her Qs start to hit from now on, not that you didn't before. And there's the engage. Nocturne's in the area. He lands the fear. Some damage coming down onto the Fiora. She's going to have to skirt away. She flashes away. Shen taking 3 turret shots in the meantime, and he's just barely going to get out of there. Nocturne going to help him push it in so he can get it back off. But Sejuani's in the area. Ping's coming through for help. She could be in the area trying to turn it here. There's the knock-up. There's the slow. And wait for it. If she can get one more auto off. Nope, they're going to get turned around. Sejuani finds herself in a bit of a pickle now, 2v1. And it's going to be Fiora who doesn't come to assist her. Communication needs to get worked out on the top half of the Abyssal Sapphire team as they're not pinging and roaming to help each other. That might have been a way for the Sejuani and the Fiora to get a kill there, as that Shen was very low, having taken 3 turret shots. Either way, though, both teams get nothing on the top side. They're going to go ahead and walk it out, and that will be it. And I just want to comment again, that Alistar skin is so beautiful. If you're watching the game, let me know who you think is going to win this final series between Abyssal eSports and Hawkthorn eSports. Abyssal Sapphire and Hawkthorn eSports, I apologize. Do you think it's going to be the side of red, Abyssal Sapphire, or blue, Hawkthorn eSports? Right now, Abyssal Sapphire up 3 kills. They've got about a 1.5 thousand gold lead at only 6 minutes in. They are certainly commanding what's going on here. And the Rell gets caught out. The knockup comes down, and she's not able to get the back, but the Kaisa is not there to help lock it up, and they are going to rotate over to the Drake. Throwing off the backing from Rell will still give them advantage if they go to fight into the Ashe. Bot lane missing. Nocturne on the bot side. He could try and go over and make something happen, but it looks like the side of Abyssal Sapphire is going to go ahead and lock up this first Infernal Drake. The next Drake will be a mountain, so we will see a cloud or an ocean soul on the map as the final game unwinds and we get into the mid and late game once that gets taken. Fiora doing a great job of putting pressure onto the Shen. Oh, there's the Nocturne ult, comes down, lands the fear, the flash follows. That's going to be Kaisa taking a lot of damage. Shen comes down, and that's going to be the Kaisa. She's able to get away. No, the flash comes out from Shen. He's able to get the kill. Trade kill back from the Alistar over on... Now you've got everybody else here. The Neeko ult comes down. That means the Ashe is going to fall through, and it's a 3v2 in favor of Abyssal Sapphire. The Kayle did not rotate down. The Neeko did. Her teleport comes down, matching the Shen ult. That's going to be the Shen now teleporting back to lane. He missed very little off of that. He is down in CS, but he was able to get a kill off of it, so he feels okay. And that is a lot of damage coming down from that Neeko onto the Kayle. Kayle finds herself level 7 now. She is actually a ranged champion, and she can actually output some damage. She did take... PTA, so look for her in the team fights to be melting through some of those folks. Very well played. The Shen was able to get the kill onto the Kaisa, but unfortunately, Neeko roamed down and was able to trade over 2 more kills. So that is, again, not the way you want that to start. At just 8 minutes in, it's almost a 2k gold difference in favor of Abyssal Sapphire. Shen engaging, the dash comes through. She's able to get away though, and nothing more will come of it. The Q misses, and she'll just run away. She finds herself still up in CS, being respectful of the Nocturne. His ult is still down. The knockup comes in on the Rell. The Ashe trying to step forward and help out. The stun comes down. Teleport coming down through the Kayle. The Kayle's going to find herself vastly outnumbered here. She's going to try and lock down the kill on the... Yep, that's going to be Alistar falling over to the side of Kayle. Kayle's going to use her ult and try and get away here. The Sejuani has to flash. The slow comes down. And the Kayle is going to still fall here. She tried to chunk out some damage. The Ashe is going to try and put out damage onto the Kayle, but the Kayle will get a double kill onto the Kayle and Ashe. That is going to be another 2-for-1 trade in favor of the side of Abyssal Sapphire. Score is 2 kills to 8 in favor of Abyssal Sapphire. Hawkthorn is the side of blue, Abyssal Sapphire the side of red. They find themselves with about a just under 4,000 gold lead at this point, and up 1 Drake. Abyssal Sapphire is playing very well. It is a tied series. This is the 3rd game in the series. If you're just tuning in, that's where we stand. Hopefully that answered your question, Dojos. Nocturne ult comes through, the Fear lands, tries to get out of there, but it's going to not do anything. A lot of damage comes through. Nocturne able to lock up the kill onto the Fiora. Fiora is going to find herself off the map for 20 seconds. Her teleport is up, though. She may be able to help get up there, but it could be a long game. Nocturne does have Rift. They might want to try and drop it on the top side here, depending on what Fiora does. Sejuani trying to rotate top to cover the turret. And there's Rell with her completed... Oh, here we go. Sejuani and Fiora both in the area. The Rift Herald there. It drops down. That's 320 gold in the pocket of Nocturne. And this Neeko has been playing very aggressive. Look at the CS difference between the Neeko and the Kayle. Almost 50 CS in favor of Neeko. Playing very well, trying to shut down this Kayle. She's got a gold lead. She's got a level lead. She's got a kill lead. She's playing like she needs to. And ping's coming out. It looks like the Ashe ult was able to land. The Neeko ult being a little bit of a deflection and deterrent to kind of get that Rell and the Kayle off of her. Sejuani roaming a match. And nothing's going to happen in the mid lane besides a stunned Neeko for just a couple of moments. My wife was kind enough to bring me dinner. Everybody say thank you. And so, there we go. This is going to be the Rell getting engaged on. The Kayle ult comes down, trying to save them. It is now a 4v4. Kaisa taking a lot of damage. She's going to find herself falling, but so does the Rell. Now the Nocturne ult comes down. He's in the area. That's going to be Neeko falling. This is Hawkthorn trading over some kills. Looks like the Alistar is going to fall. That's a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Hawkthorn eSports. Could it be a 4-for-1? Kayle able to get the auto off, but it's not going to be the kill. They're going to find themselves with priority across the map, and that's going to be Hawkthorn eSports locking up their first Drake of the game and getting a Mountain Drake here. Wrong button. Very well played from the side of Hawkthorn eSports as they are able to trade over 3 kills for 1 there, get themselves back in the game. It's now less than a 2,000 gold difference, and they have a chance to win here. Or at least contest. Hawkthorn, though, going to answer with first turret. And 3 members from the side of Hawkthorn eSports down here on the bot side.
Turret plating will fall soon.
There's the Neeko ult coming down. It does lock up the Kayle. Slow comes out from Sejuani. There's the stun. And there's the final kill going on to the Neeko. Now you've got Nocturne in the area. Alt Fear. He's able to get the kill onto the Sejuani, and he's going to follow up. The Ashe ult lands on the Neeko. And that's a trade for Nocturne getting a 2-for-1 trade. Hawthorn eSports is slowly clawing back into the game. They're down less than 3,000 gold at this point. And we are going to see the Cloud Drake as the soul for this map, which means there is going to be some movement speed buffs coming across everywhere. Alistar engaged onto the Ashe. Alistar taking some damage now. The Rell here, the teleport coming down from the Shen. Flashes left and right. Kai'Sa is able to lock down the kill on the Ashe, but the Shen will manage to lock down the kill on the Kai'Sa. Alistar trying to run away. That is a very quick little pony, though. She's going to chase down the... Alistar, but nothing will come of it. There's the E locking up the Sejuani. Some damage coming down. She has to flash to get away. And my goodness, we've got quite the game. Hawkthorn eSports is clawing their way back into it. They're trading over kills. They are trying to answer and say, not today. We will not go into the night quietly. And this Ashe is rotated to the top side, trying to get some CS and just farm up, get some solo XP. Ping's coming out towards the mid. It said Rell and Nocturne both going in on this Neeko. The Neeko ult comes down, but they are still able to land the Fear and get some kills. And that's going to be another kill going over to the side of Hawkthorn eSports. They were able to answer back, and they're almost tied in kills. Less than a 2,000 gold difference now. They are playing the game. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Game 3 of this series. Both of the teams have won one game. Excuse me. Hawkthorn on the side of blue. Abyssal Sapphire on the side of red. Each team 1-1 in the series. This is the final game, and it's been pretty even so far. There was a slight lead at one point where Abyssal Sapphire was doing a good job of putting pressure onto the side of Hawkthorn eSports, but Hawkthorn has managed to answer their way back, almost tie up the kills, get a Drake, and so we got ourselves a hell of a third game. If you haven't done it yet, don't forget to hit the follow button if you want to see more of these scrims and these matches. I cast them almost every night here on Twitch, and I'd love to have you here. If I'm not here, you can check out my schedule and check me out at another organization's page. I cast for other orgs as well. And the Drake is going to be joining the map here in about 1 minute as the red team is going to vie for position and priority over in the Drake pit. They're going to go ahead and get some vision in the area. Excuse me. Pings coming out left and right as both teams start to move into the Dragon. There's the Nocturne ult coming down. They're going to turn it around. Oh, there's the Rell ult bringing everybody in. The Alistar, the Sejuani is taking quite a bit of damage there, and she could fall here. Yes, that's going to be the Ashe locking up the kill on the Sejuani. That is going to be Abyssal Sapphire without their jungler. The Neeko ult landing, though. Kai'Sa gets the kill onto the Nocturne. It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Abyssal Sapphire. That's 3-for-1 trade as the Rell will fall, the Ashe will fall, the Kayle will fall. The Shen finds himself the lone man with blue on the map. Abyssal Sapphire answering back and saying, hey, you can get some kills back, but we can win the team fights. And that is going to be the third turret, the last of the Tier 1 turrets standing that will fall. There's the Nocturne Paranoia trying to land the Fiora onto the Fiora. Rell here helping him down. The flash, the flash follow. Fiora trying to stay alive. The Q misses. She might find herself in an advantageous situation here. Nope, she's joined by 4 other members. Sorry, a piece of dinner went down the wrong pipe there. I apologize. So, Fiora is able to survive that attack from the 4 members of Hawkthorn eSports. She tried to re-engage on the Nocturne, but saw that it was a bad idea, and so she walks away with her life. And we're going to see the Neeko now going in on the Shen. And Nocturne having to drop the Rift Herald. A little out of position there. Probably not where you wanted to drop it, but it was about ready to just time out. And it is able to get a charge off regardless of the amount of team members that the side of Abyssal Sapphire have there. Nocturne all coming down. The Fear goes down. He's able to fear the Fiora away. The slow comes down from the Kayle to help out. She's still alive. She's putting out some damage. She's going to manage to survive. Very well played from the Fiora as she is able to take the Blast Cone into the Dragon Pit and get out of there. Meanwhile, you've got 4 members of the side of Abyssal Sapphire starting up this Baron here. Nocturne trying to roam. It's about halfway dead. Shen coming through. They're off the Baron. It's a 5v4 in the area now. We've got a hell of a fight breaking out. The Shen's going to fall. The Kai'Sa's going to fall. The Alistar is going to fall. And Hawkthorn eSports now find them in a position where they might be able to get the Baron here. Sejuani's going to try and make something happen, possibly? Nope. She will dive over just after the Baron is taken, and she will fall. That is 3 kills going over to the side of Hawkthorn eSports as they are able to tie up this game. Not tie it up, but put it very close in kills. They've answered the call. They've gotten the top tier 1 turret. They were able to steal the Baron. They got 3 kills off of that. They find themselves in a winnable situation here. Fiora almost finding herself there in a bit of a situation, but is able to avoid it. I want to see Hawkthorn doing more with the Baron, though. I know that Drake's spawning in 30 seconds. This would be a great time to pressure mid, 5-man, get it down, have the wave crashing in, and then try and drop down to get the Drake. Baron is on the side of Hawkthorn eSports, the blue team. Abyssal Sapphire red finds themselves with the gold advantage. The Nocturne ult comes down. Nothing comes of it, though, as they were just trying to put some pressure on there. Now we see that these Baron-empowered minions are crashing into the turret. But there's a lot of defense coming out of the side of Abyssal Sapphire. The engage coming through from the Sejuani. We've got ourselves a fight. Kai'Sa's able to lock down the kill on the Rell. Now we've got the Nocturne. He's got GA, but he's taking a lot of damage. The GA has been procced. Fiora trying to chase down. There goes the Nocturne. Fiora taking some damage, but she will survive. And now we've got the Sejuani. The kill up comes down onto the Ashe, but she will fall as well. And Abyssal Sapphire is really turning the game right back around on them. It's now a 5,000 gold lead in favor of Abyssal Sapphire. they will manage to put themselves on sole point. And they do a very good job at stalling out the Baron. The side of Hawkthorn Esports was able to get Baron, but they were not able to use it to the best of their abilities. They were not able to get any objectives off of it. They were not able to really get any kills off of it. They didn't even get the Drake off of it. So it doesn't feel like it was the best utilization possible for the side of Hawkthorn Esports. But it was a very good play in the steal of the, and not a steal, but a good team fight and a way to take over the Drake there. Baron. Both teams just clearing out vision. No objectives on the map for another minute 45. And we've got ourselves another fight brewing here in the mid lane and the bot side as Nocturne drops the ult. The tier 2 turtle fall for the side of Hawkthorn Esports, but there's a hell of an engage coming through. Neeko falls. That's going to be 1 kill going over to the side of Hawkthorn Esports. That's going to be 2 kills going over the side of Hawkthorn Esports as Kayle will get blown up. Alistar could find himself in a bit of a pickle. He will get blown up. That is now 3 kills in favor of Hawkthorn Esports. They were able to get those kills out, and they're going to put the pressure on the side of mid now. They're going to knock down that tier 1 turret. It has fallen. Baron's up in 45, still pinging to march down mid lane. Fiora, meanwhile, answering the bot side, getting the base turret, or trying to get the base turret, rather. Sejuani here taking a lot of damage as the 4 members of Hawkthorn Esports that are up are putting pressure, and they're going to get the inhib here, too. Shen not letting that Fiora back. He's going to continue to try and engage on her. Flashes and dashes coming out left and right. Shen barely alive. Teleport coming down from the Kayle. Kayle's teleport is interrupted, though, by the Sejuani, so it will still be a man advantage for the side of Hawkthorn Esports. I mean, Abyssal Sapphire, as that Fiora is able to put out a lot of damage onto the Shen, but get no kill from it. And this is the kind of back and forth play that we've seen the entire series. One team will win a fight, another team will win a fight, and then they will just continue to trade out like this. Right now, Abyssal Sapphire setting up around 3,000 gold in their favor. They do have 3 Drakes, they do have 1 more turret, but every time they think they've got the advantage or every time they try and make a play, we are seeing that the side of Hawkthorn Esports will not go down quietly tonight. They continue to put pressure, and they are now going to start up the Baron. Alistar will get some vision on the area. Control wards coming down. Kayle has her ult, and Nocturne will lock down the Baron. That is going to be the second Baron going over in favor of the side of Hawkthorn Esports. And the Drake is going to be spawning. The Cloud Drake is now here on the map. All 4 members from the side of Hawkthorn eSports coming in. It's being melted down. It is going to go over to the side of Abyssal Sapphire. That will be the soul. However, now we've got a fight engaged here going on. Shen trying to follow onto the back line. Zhonia's left and right. And it's going to be the Shen that falls first. Now, both top laners are dead. Mid for Neeko, and the Rell is dead. That's going to be a double kill going over to the side of Kayle. And Kai'Sa finds herself outnumbered here. She's taking a lot of damage from the Kayle. She tries to take the R back in. She's able to trade, but she is still going to fall. That is a 4-for-2 trade in favor of Hawkthorn eSports. They find themselves now down just 1,000 gold, if that. They're going to put pressure. This mid inhib is down. Alistar is the only one alive for the next 20 seconds. This could be Hawkthorn eSports winning the game. They are going to put pressure here. They are coming into the mid. They are knocking down the Nexus turrets. 1 is down. Alistar trying to defend as best he can. 2 turrets down. Alistar getting melted away. He will fall. And this is going to be Hawkthorn eSports winning the game and the series. They officially are the winners of the games tonight as they get 2 games in the series over 1. Hawkthorn eSports is the winner. Abyssal Sapphire, Hawkthorn eSports, thank you very much for letting me shoutcast and stream your game tonight. If you are watching, please hit the follow button. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button based on whatever you're watching this on. I'd love to have you here more often as I do this almost every night. What a hell of a series. My thank you again to Abyssal Sapphire and Hawkthorn eSports. Thank you very much and have a great night.
Try your luck and take a chance.